All right, everybody, welcome to the team call. It's going to be an awesome call today. I love when somebody comes on board and just takes the TLG opportunity, takes advantage of the TLG opportunity, takes responsibility, doesn't make excuses, and just goes for it. So we have an awesome agent that we want to highlight, a brand new agent, Athena. Athena, how do you say your last name? Is it Runyon?
Yep,
Okay,
run.
perfect. Got it right. So Athena Runyon out of Chalet's team started her first dial session January 15th. I do believe it was January 15th, her first dial session. So she had 2 weeks of practice in the month of January. And then coming into this month, she's crossed, here we are at the 29th of February, over $31,000 of annual premium. So that's pretty incredible, pretty awesome. Not something you see every day. I know we've had people do 20,000 their first month. I don't know if we ever had anybody that's done 30,000 their very first, full-time month. We haven't. And when I say full-time, she's part-time because she's got about 12 other jobs that we'll ask her about. But so she's part-time, knocking down big numbers, which is awesome. So we're gonna just get into her process a little bit, what she's been doing, how she's been doing it. We're going to hear from Chalet as well, who's been coaching her, guiding her, walking her through. Chalet's a power producer on the team and a manager. And so it's just awesome to see when somebody's, uh, what do they call it? A curve wrecker, where they're breaking the normal expectations and the normal results. So Athena, thank you for being on the call. Chalet, I think I have you unmuted too. Let me know if I need to unmute you. But let me start with Chalet real quick before we go to you, Athena. Chalet, what have you noticed about Athena that maybe is different from what you normally see with agents as far as getting so much results so quickly? Like, what from your vantage point, working so closely with her, what have you noticed about her and what she's done?
So whenever like new agents start, they start off like typically I'd say they start off really good and then they get their first sell and they kind of like die off, like they fall off the face of the earth. And then you hear from them later. So Athena, she has kept up the same consistency since her first dial session. Like she's doing the same thing she did on day one and she does that every single day. So I think that is a huge part of her success that she's continuing to act like it's day one. And it is amazing to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. People, because it's crazy. You can write a policy and you can make, 800 bucks, 1,000 bucks, 1,500 bucks. And especially like for me, like it used my job before TLG, it would take me like, 2 weeks to make that. So all of a sudden you get one sale and you make that and you're like, well, I'm gonna go to Disney World or wherever. And then you take time off. But so Athena, tell us a little bit about your background, like what you were doing before you got involved with TLG. Um, and maybe still doing like what's your career background?
Yeah, so I've had a very interesting career path. Out of college, became an international buyer for Neiman Marcus, which I hated it because I love people. So I was truly just, I mean, it's business, so I'm grateful for that. But so I did that. I realized how much I really want to be around people more. So, and I have a nutrition love. So I got certified as a nutritionist and opened a health food store and did that for a little while. Was a special ed teacher for a couple of years, and then I moved into ministry. So really the past 15 years of my career have been ministry, involved in ministry, but also like the administrative side. So in ministry, but doing administrative assistant work. So
Yeah,
that's my primary, that's the bulk of my career path.
sweet. I'm trying to think if any of that was actual. None of that was really sales, was it?
I guess when I had a health food store, it was sales, but it was
Yeah.
really more just helping people know what they need and, if they need to purchase, they purchase. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, that was sales.
Right.
But
Right.
otherwise,
So,
no.
and then what drew you to the TLG opportunity? What did you hear? What drew you to it? What made you even interested in getting your insurance license? Had you ever thought about getting your insurance license before?
no, like that whole word insurance, it makes me cringe. This was totally, again, you probably guys hear me say this, but this was truly a out of left field in my mind, but it was just a God bomb. Like he just threw it across my path. No clue about insurance, no ever thought about doing anything insurance. It was really on one of Blaze and Christine's YouTube podcast based on some situations that we're connected with otherwise that they said, hey, we have an agency, we're hiring. And I'm like, I don't even know why. I don't even know why. The thought was like, I think I could do that. But I did. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw a post on social media same boat. Never had thought about it. A lot of our top producers, I mean, pretty much everybody on the team wasn't planning on being in insurance or thinking about it. But so you saw it and then got some more information on it. And then what was your driving motivation to what did you see in the opportunity? Like what motivated you to pursue it? What's your motivation?
Yeah. So just the fact that they were like, you can make 6 figures, and I've never even been one to think about that, but just the thought that there's potential to make money, and I'm sitting here working 4 jobs and in a ministry role. I'm like, that just really sounds, I think I could do that. I'm just going to see what that takes. I would really love to be free financially, not be working 4 jobs. I don't think that's ideal. It's not healthy. Relationally, as a single mom, it's just not, anyway, it's not life-giving.
Yeah.
And I want to be fully present with my kids. My oldest is almost 22. I've never been able to take my kids on a vacation. I'm like, okay, now's the time. I don't even know why. I'm just like, now's the time. I'm just changing my life.
That's
So
awesome. So basically flexibility, ability to be present with your family, have more control of your time and schedule, and not be working so much for very little compensation is what it sounds like. I mean, it sounds like you've been working a lot, but not really being paid what you can, what you're worth. And it's like you said, it wasn't necessarily money motivated, but you want to have more time for your family. You want to provide more opportunity for them. You're a capable person. You have potential, and so you found out something that you could really put your hand to. Um, what was what would you say were like some of the key things that you learned in the beginning that you grabbed hold of? Or I mean, how did you do 10,000 in your first 2 weeks? I mean, can you bring us back to your first 2 weeks and what that was like?
yeah, kind of like Shalay said at the beginning, just same what I'm doing today. I mean, I watched the training videos. Again, I have 4 jobs and I'm a single mom. I don't have time to reinvent the wheel. I literally just would watch your trainings, listen to your script, do this script thing, just follow the trainings. It was this, you can't lose if you don't put in effort. I mean, there's just no way to lose. You just buy leads, dial, and follow the process, and it's kind of a numbers game. You just keep dialing, and eventually you're going to find somebody who really does want what they don't realize that they need.
Yeah. So simple, but so profound. Now, on those age leads, you said putting in effort and being coachable, following advice and training, not having enough time to innovate. Now, so first of all, what leads have you been working? Like, what leads did you start on?
All the TLG 3s and 4s is all I've bought.
Okay.
Most
Even up to today?
I've bought maybe 25 on the ILC.
Okay. So all TLG 3s and 4s, small purchase of the ILC leads all the way up to date. Now, on the age leads, as we all know, it's higher rejection, lower conversion, but cheaper leads. So you get to keep your costs low on these leads, which means your ROI is really high, but you're going through a lot of rejection because they're age leads. You have to manage your expectations, things like that. Was it difficult find people that were rejecting you or that were maybe mad or angry? Like, what was that like experiencing that in the beginning?
Actually, it's been very transformational for me as a person. I'm very much a people person. And so I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm getting hung up on or cussed out or whatever, and it's gonna like wreck me because I just love people. But I'll say from the very beginning, I read the book per Chalet's suggestion, not directly. She was on one of her trainings and she's like, read the book, Go for No. It was a short audio book. I mean, I listened to it in less than 2 hours. And that was like, okay, again, I don't have the time and the capacity to try to get tripped up. So I'm like, okay, I'm just doing this. I'm going to go for no. I'm just going to believe this guy. He's successful. You know what Josh just says. I mean, Josh is successful. Elijah's successful. Mike is successful. I'm listening to the trainings and I'm like, I believe these guys. I don't have anything to lose. I don't have time to, again, reinvent it. So I'm just going to do what they say to do. So the go for no really helped me with my mindset because I know I would have been just in a mess crying at every time that somebody would hang up on me. But it really was just like, no, this, you can't take it personally. This is business. And also think about it from their perspective. They're not expecting a personal phone call from a number that they don't recognize, an area code they don't know. I mean, I loved what you said in that one training, Josh. You're like, expect that the person is picking up the phone with a gun pointed at your head. And your job is to get them just to put the gun down, in the first 5 seconds. And so I really just took that as a matter of fact.
And it seems like just on some of the interaction and conversations I've had with you, it seems like you do have an ability to do that. Like, can you tell us, like, when you have somebody that's hostile, first of all, you took Chalet's advice. Hey, Chalet said, hey, read this book. It's going to help your mindset. It's going to help you get started. You read it. It really gave you the proper mindset to be able to, and to have the proper expectation. And then, but like, I feel like you do have an ability, and I think it's probably just like your ministry background and your heart in that. But like, have you found that you've been able to bring people from sometimes people are going to be hostile, they're going to hang up and then you move on. But sometimes they're testing you or they're hostile in the beginning, but you can turn it around. I feel like that's something that you have the ability to do that's helped you. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Just really empathize. I mean, again, a lot of these people, they're like, I've told you people, 100 times, stop calling. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry that this has been your experience. And then just kind of move forward. Again, don't belabor that and sit there and, oh, I'm so, so sorry. Don't grovel, but just really genuinely empathize with them and say, I'll be sure that this doesn't happen again, at least from our end. I can't control what other agents out there are doing, but just be real, just be honest and say, sorry, that's been your experience. That's definitely not my intention. Just want to serve you and kind of just personalize.
Yeah, that's good. It kind of like disarms them because people get hostile, and if you get into a boxing match, then it's just going to it's just going to descend into chaos. But if you can be empathetic, like you're saying, hey, I'm really sorry that that's happened. You're not, it's not your fault, but you're just like, you're empathizing, like you're saying. And now they're like, oh, well, for them to continue to be mean after you've like been like that, like that's going to be that's going to make it really difficult. You're kind of knocking the wind out of their hostility. Now, have you had somebody that was like upset, mad, and then you had that approach, that genuine kind of empathetic approach, and then like ended up doing business with them?
Yeah. One guy, and he had just gotten diagnosed with esophageal cancer. So
Wow.
yeah, really grateful to have gotten him helped too because of that situation. But yeah, I mean, he was cussing like a sailor in the first, 10 seconds, and then in the end we ended up writing a policy. So
Yeah. So guys, you got to stay emotionally detached in a certain level. I mean, you don't want to like be stone cold Steve Austin, but you got to be like, you got to not take things personal, and then be empathetic. I mean, here's a guy who's who's upset. He's probably getting calls by all sorts of people. He's hostile, but like he's dealing with cancer. And because Athena didn't get personally offended at his, initial reaction, but was able to talk him through, walk him off the ledge, and then talk to him. And then she was able to find him actually coverage. Great Western will cover anybody. So she was able to find him a policy and serve that client. And I'm sure he was very thankful that you were able to do that. And that's I mean, that's a skill set in and of itself, but something that any of you can do. Any of you can do. You just got to not take things personal, be empathetic, and then just realize like people people are going to test you. You know, they're going to test if you're a genuine person, or if you're just out to make a dollar, or if you're just a regular salesperson, or if you're just trying to get something from them. But if you're coming at it from that place of service and genuine care, then you know you're going to get past a lot of that defensiveness, and then turn it around. And that's actually a really fulfilling thing, to be able to talk to somebody that's hostile and then walk them off the ledge and then make a genuine connection and then help serve their family. I mean, that makes things very fulfilling for what we do. Um, so so you're just working age leads. You have 4 different jobs. Real quick, if we go back to that, can you tell us what those other jobs that you do? Like what are those? What type of jobs are those, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so I'm was a personal assistant, executive assistant remotely, virtual assistant for 2 different clients, and then I have 2 ministry jobs. So I work with an inner healing and deliverance ministry, and then I also work with an Israel related ministry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Have you been to Israel?
No, I will. I will.
Right on. Me and Becky have been to
Yeah.
Israel a couple times. We'll have to talk about that. But so okay, cool. So you've got these other jobs. You got a lot on your plate. You're a single mother. How are you juggling? How are you scheduling your time? And it makes me think that maybe the time that you do devote to TLG, you're very intentional with that time, which probably helps your results. But tell us like about your schedule and time. Like, are you doing dials like at different times throughout the day? Do you have a set time that you stick to every day? What does that look like?
I pretty much set the first 4 hours of the day just doing dialing. So 8 to 12, ideally, unless I have a meeting or something come up. But kind of that chunk of time from 8 to 12, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, because Wednesday mornings I have another obligation. And then I usually I'll dial and set the appointments for the evening. So then after I get home in the evening and got my son fed and doing homework and all the stuff, then I will work appointments that I had set. And then
Yeah.
Saturdays are definitely a powerhouse day. Like Saturdays, pretty much all day throughout the day, doing business at some way. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
Saturday power day for sure.
So morning dials are, between 8 and 12 most days. And then taking advantage of the weekend to get ahead. What would you what would you tell new agents that are in their first, basically they haven't hit 10K yet, and maybe they're struggling to do that? What is some advice that you would give to new agents or people in their learning curve or in their first 30 days or just haven't gotten over the hump yet? I mean, everything you're saying is very simple, it's straightforward, it's the basics, but you're definitely bringing, your gifts and your personality and your ability to care for people. But what would you tell new agents? Like, what's some advice you would give them, or anything else you feel like you want to share about, your experience so far and why you've gotten the results you've gotten? Basically, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, just be teachable, continue to reach out to your upline continually. I mean, I'll take pictures of my lead sheets and have my handwritten chicken scratch notes on them and post it in my upline chat. I'm like, what should this is what I'm thinking. What should I do with this? And just continuously ask advice and help. But also just like Shalay said at the beginning, persistence. Just make it, there's no wiggle room. Don't give yourself an excuse. Just say, today I'm sitting down for however many hours or until I reach a certain number. Just have a daily goal and just do it. Just put your nose to the grind and do it and just dial. And you'll connect with people. And then again, emotionalizing that initial conversation for a minute is really helpful too, just to take 30 seconds to listen to them. One question, what do you do? That really also has given me a good rapport with clients and been able to have a conversation with them. And it just seems you can just kind of see them leaning forward a little more. But yeah, dial, buy leads weekly. If you get down, you have a bad day or two, just keep dialing. It seems so simple, but that's the way we connect with people.
That's so good. That's so good, Athena. I think that'll help a lot of people just to hear it from someone like you, Shalay, do you have any more thoughts or questions for Athena?
I just want to start off by saying, Athena, you are an inspiration. Like, I know you don't like the spotlight, and I have a feeling you're going to be getting it a lot. Like in upcoming months. Where do you see yourself going for March?
Man, I don't want to say it out loud, but I'm going to say it because I want to be held accountable. I'm going to try for 50, I think. I don't know.
I think you
Being
can do it.
recorded? This is being recorded? Okay, I'm going to do 30. Just-
I'm
No, I
gonna
heard
hold you to
50.
50. I'll be like messaging you every morning, like, how's it going? Are you close to 50 yet? But no, you reach out constantly. And I know you worry about being annoying, and a lot of people do worry about that. So I just want to point out that like Josh, Micah, Eli, myself, we are here for all of your questions. You are not being annoying. Like I said before, I like hearing like from you like multiple times a day. I want to hear from all of my agents multiple times a day. And so I know you're still alive, you know? Um, so basically, I just want to say that you are doing so good and being a single mom with 4 jobs. So you are inspiring a lot of people and you are inspiring me because I only have 1 job and I feel like I need to be rushing to keep up with you right now. So I like it's you are truly amazing and I'm going to keep saying that. But so I know you have a new agent on this call. So whenever would you have any advice to give to her?
Yeah, same thing. Just don't don't think about it. Don't personalize it. Buy leads, dial. Buy leads, dial, and reach out with questions to your upline um, as much as possible. I love that's the other thing. I mean, this team is such a wealth of experience and support. And I mean, that's the only way I've been able to do it too, because there's just a support system in place. And we've got great, excellent trainings. I mean, this really truly is integrity, people of integrity. So I'm so grateful.
And when would you say you start dialing every day? You said your first 4 hours. What time would you start dialing?
Like 8.
And how many dials would you say that you do a day? I know you don't keep track of that.
Right. I would say on average on the weekdays, probably in that morning chunk, 75-ish.
Okay. And then do you double dial, triple dial, single dial?
I always double dial at least. Um, again, it was more for like a mindset thing because it was like, I'm gonna dial this person right back again, but it was like that's what you guys said to do. And so I'm not gonna get caught up in my brain. I'm just gonna do what they've said to do. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's the process is laid out for us from all of you leaders. So I'm just so grateful. Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
And how many leads would you say? I know that you actually put in an order this morning. So how much would you say you're spending on leads weekly?
100, 150.
And she's making over 30,000 in AP. And also, your comment earlier about you didn't really convert the ILC leads as much as the TLG threes. You made 5 sells. I was doing the math here.
Oh.
25 leads, Josh, and she's made 5 sells on ILC leads. And I know you've done a lot more on your TLG threes and fours. I think you ordered 20 TLG fours the other day, and you closed 4 of them. Like, I am so impressed. I was actually talking to Josh about that. Like, that's incredible. So yes, it's not the leads, right? It's how you talk to them. And I want to do a call where we get more into how you're talking to these people in the future. But the fact that you actually truly care about building relationships with your clients. So that I feel like is really one of the important things. You have this huge list of sells you've made this month. And how many of them would you say that you've actually made a personal relationship with?
Oh gosh, a lot of them. I could probably tell you all of their stories right now.
That's what I mean. And so I know a lot of people can get caught up with making the personal relationships, and then as they go on, they kind of get overwhelmed, and like stop focusing on that. But I feel like you are going to keep that your main focus because that's just who you are. And I see this, you're going to have an amazing book of business. You're going to have referrals coming to you. You have a huge future ahead of you. And I'm very proud, as I've said a billion times. And I say in my daily life a billion times a day.
Well,
So
I'm
I
grateful,
think
not said it a million times.
I think that is everything that I had, Josh.
That's so good. That's such good stuff. It really is mind blowing. But it's so simple. I hope this is encouraging for everybody that it's just making the main things the main things. And I love what you're saying about just do it, stop thinking about it and just do it. There is such a thing called the paralysis of analysis where you overthink everything and get in your own way. We've all probably struggled with that to some degree, but guys, it really is just have the leads, make sure you've got those every week, and then just make sure you're dialing. You're not going to feel like dialing them until you start dialing them, and then you realize it's not that big a deal. Your mind is always going to be working against you to try to keep you comfortable, but it's really getting outside of your comfort zone that you start to get those results. But I echo everything that Shalay is saying. We're so proud of you and so impressed and excited for your journey. I mean, it's not, there's going to be obstacles. There always is. There's always going to be things you have to overcome in this business. But it's just incredible to me that mindset, and we've said this before, but 90% of what we do is mindset. The other 10% is execution. But like it's kind of crazy how just a difference in perspective and mindset and then taking action can lead to such different results. Like Shalay said, it's never the leads, it's never the clients, it's never the system, it's never the lack of this or the lack of that. I mean, if you want to look for all those things, you can find them. Kind of like that call we had a few weeks ago where we're talking about, you're going to get what you expect and what you're looking for. But Athena looked for an opportunity. She looked for a way to better her circumstances, and she's just putting in the work to do it. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you get Rookie of the Year. You're definitely on track for that. And even being in the top, I mean, it's very possible you could be in the top 5 of the entire company, which is just crazy. It just goes to show you that it doesn't matter if you've been here, like if you're new or if you've been here for like 5 years. It's an equal playing field, and anybody that wants the opportunity and wants to take advantage of it and wants to leverage it, for the benefit of themselves and their family, you can. Like it's an equal playing field. You've got the same leads, the same system. One other thing that I noticed about you, Athena, is that I don't know if you've always been like this, but I know like you had a goal, and and we figured out that you did hit the goal, even though we thought you didn't for a second. But you wanted to hit 24,000 by the 24th, which I think was your birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you always set goals, or is that just something that you made an intention to do with this? And like, is that something that's helped you get these results, having that goal in front of you?
Yeah, it's so interesting. This whole process has really been a personal transformation journey for me, because I'm so out of my normal self, like sounding monotone on my scripts, like just being like that, because I'm a very personable person. I'm the one who would talk fast and be the really high pitched, hey, hey, and then, just pound it into my head to, that even kill, calm, cool, collected voice. But yeah, I've always been a person who sets goals, but never really did the work to try to keep on task with my goals. And in this, I'm like, I'm getting too old. I'm doing this. I'm going to set goals. I'm going to meet my goals. I'm going to hit my goals. And if I don't, I'm still going to just keep shooting higher. So I've been a goal setter, but never really tried to hit the target like I am now. I'm just committed. I'm at a place where I'm like, I have a big why. And there's nothing to lose.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, like Shalay said, we're so proud of you and excited for you. Now, I do need to make this. I need to make this point for the rest of the team. Whenever we have somebody that's a curve wrecker and they get above average or normal results in a quick period of time, like it did. If that hasn't happened for you, I don't want anybody to feel discouraged. You should be impressed and you should be inspired by everything that Athena said. Definitely don't be jealous. Definitely don't be a hater. Just realize, like, if that didn't happen for you, that's okay. Like you can, that didn't happen for me. Well, not quite. That didn't really happen for me, and it didn't happen for a lot of the people that are top producers. Some people get it real quick. Some people it takes time. Some people it's a mixture of both. So it really doesn't matter it doesn't matter which of those categories you fall into, but what matters is that you're taking action and you're taking action and you're making things happen and you're following the advice that Athena laid out for you and listening to her upline, Shalay, just whatever Shalay says, cool. You guys have done this before. You know what to do. I don't have time to try to reinvent the wheel. I love that you said that. You're just gonna, keep it rocking. But guys, so we have somebody like this. Now, the tendency is for everybody to start rushing and sending her messages and saying, hey, what do I do? What kind of leads are you working? Blah, blah, blah. First of all, don't do that because Athena doesn't have any events. First of all, she's too busy. She's got 4 jobs. She's got a child and children, and she's got this job. So none of you need to be taking up any of her time or her mental space. We've got channels. If you want to learn from what Athena's doing, you can go to me. You can go to your upline, and we can answer those questions. If you're on Shalay's team, you can go to Shalay and say, hey, what did you tell Athena? What is Athena doing? Because you want to go to the people that have an invested interest in your success and not take up people's time. Now, we are a culture that shares freely best practices. Thank you, Athena, for being willing to share what you've done, your mindset, what you're bringing to the table, and your results. Thank you for sharing that with us. And we do provide, it's can't remember the term we use, but rising tide raises all ships. So we're always going to get the information out of whatever works, whatever's going well. We're going to get that information out to you guys, but we just have like a little bit of, I guess you could call it a code of conduct where we're not reaching out to people, just and being entitled to their time and their expertise. You have uplines, you've got managers that have invested interest that we can go to. So nobody reach it. Now, I'm not saying that we're not allowed to talk to each other, that we have to live in, everybody live in a jail cell and don't talk to each other. I'm not saying anything like that, but just respect each other's time, respect Athena by not, trying to go directly to her for information. We've got proper channels for that. If you come to conference, then you can talk to people face to face. We're going to be doing more training calls where you have questions. Now, Athena, if you don't mind answering questions, if anybody does have, is that okay if we get some people to ask questions?
Yeah.
Guys, if you have a question, ask it in the chat here on either on Workplace or here on Zoom. And if you have a question that you want to know, go ahead and type it in. Micah made a comment. Athena's doing. Micah, why don't you come on for a second? Do you have go ahead and make that comment if you don't mind.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the in-laws hotel. We're on our way out of town for the weekend. But yeah, it's like when you have this kind of success, a success story like this, it kind of is like, okay, what's the magic sauce? Like, okay, what is the special thing about Athena that makes her a 30K producer in her first month? And although different talent levels are real, and different people's skills are real, what's more real than that is the fact that she does more dials on average in one session in the morning than a lot of agents do in 2 or 3 days of work. So she's doing by her second day of work in the week, she's doing as many dials as a lot of agents will do their whole entire week. So effectively, she's working, I don't know what I'm terrible at math, but about when she works for a week, it's the equivalent of someone who's doing, a quarter of her speed, working for, she's worked 4 weeks and you've worked 1 week. So it's like she crams a month for a person going half speed. She crams a month into 1 week. So do you do that 4 weeks in a row? You've worked for 1 month and Athena's worked for 4 months. And that's the main difference, And so for me, it's like I had to lose a bunch of weight a while back. I had I lost like 70 pounds. When you're doing a weight loss journey, like if it is complicated and you get into that mental place where it's like, I'm just the exception of the rule, why can't I do it? Athena can do it, but I can't do it because of XYZ. It's just, weight loss. It's just my metabolism. She has a fast metabolism. I don't, but when it got down to like the brass tacks of like, no, this is just like a numbers game. If I'm continuing to gain weight or not lose, it's because I'm eating more calories than I burn. It's like it's numbers. And when it becomes numbers, then I don't have to be out of control anymore. I don't have to find the secret sauce. It's a math equation. It's just a matter of, doing the numbers. And so if you're looking at Athena and going, man, that's just mind blowing. Is she amazing? Yes, she's great. She's awesome. She's probably an amazing person. But so are all of you. And you have your own way with people. You wouldn't be doing this, especially if you didn't care about people in general. So make that mindset shift, read a book, call your upline, but that for me, even when I look at what she's doing, thinking about my month in March, I'm going, I know what the difference is. The difference is it's numbers. So
Great comments. Great perspective. Athena, you got another comment on that?
When I mentioned mindset earlier, I just want to say, I mean, please, guys, don't get me wrong. Like this is totally foreign territory to me. So it's not like I have this awesome mindset. I just, when I would have a puny or terrible mindset, I would put it in my upline chat or just reach out and be like, okay, I'm resetting my mindset. So it's almost just like keeping myself accountable to my upline. Like, okay, this has been a crummy day or whatever, or I'm doing all this work and nothing's no fruit for it. I just put in my upline chat. Okay, I need a mindset recheck. So I'll just go out for a walk and, talk to the Lord and be grateful. I'll just say that too. Gratitude is big. So anyway, just again, it's not like my mindset is always like, oh, this is great. I mean, I enjoy what I'm doing but I still need that. Hey, my mindset needs a boost, so guys, give me a girl or something.
Right. No, that's great. I mean, because here's the thing, we maintain a culture of positive expectation, positive mental attitude. Like that's a value for us because we know that positive mindset produces positive results, negative mindset produces negative results. But at the same time, like we are human, we are, we all have emotions, we all go through things, we all have times that are difficult, we all have obstacles. So it's not that we want to create a culture where we're all fake and we just pretend like we're positive. So I appreciate your genuineness there. But yeah, that's why we support each other as a team and have a team is that we're there for each other to help each other with our mindset when it falters, when it's off course. Take, like you said, taking a walk. I do the same thing. If I'm getting stressed out, I get up, I get some movement. Gratitude. I've definitely noticed that about you. You have a grateful attitude and heart, and that keeps you from falling into like anxiety and negativity. So this has been a great call. This has been amazing. Is there any other, let's see.
Yes. So Chuck wants to, can you repeat how many dials you do a day, Athena, and how many hours?
So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I try to set 8 to 12 for dial time. But again, I'm working some other roles right now, so sometimes a call or an appointment will come up. But in general, 8 to 12, Monday, 4 days a week. And then it's like, I would say average 75 dials on those days. And then I try to, in those times, I try to set appointments for that evening or, in the evening. So I do appointment sets in the evenings for the most part. And then Saturdays are a power day for me. So I know we set 8 to 12 on Saturdays. Is that team time to really power through? I try to really do business most of the day Saturday, as long as people are reachable.
Awesome. And then how many leads bought a week?
I think I put it in there about 40 to 60. I, do it with TLG 3s and 4s. I spend about $100, $150 between those two types of leads.
Perfect. And then so you are trying the ILC leads, but you are sticking with your TLG 3s and 4s, right? Because that's what works.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I bought a handful of ILC here and there, but not that many.
Okay. All right, yeah, I just wanted to repeat those so that because I don't know if can they see the comments after the calls ended?
I think they can actually, but
Oh,
I
okay.
can't remember. I think so. Yeah, I think people can see it, but no, that was good. Good to get that out there one more time. We always got to be reminded of the basics. So guys, great comments from everybody. Like Mike has said, massive activity. That was a phrase I grabbed onto when I started. Massive activity outweighs talent. So if you want to shorten your learning curve, if you want to get results faster, increase your activity, be consistent. Another phrase that I grabbed on was commitment to consistency will yield emotional and financial stability. So if you need emotional and financial stability in your business and in your life, then you got to be consistent. You got to show up daily. Another phrase that I grabbed onto when I started was show up even if your eyes are bleeding. I love that phrase, that imagery. But show up even if your eyes are bleeding, even if you don't feel like it. Like Athena said, just do it. Just do it. Power through your those emotions that try to talk you out of it, those excuses that try to creep up in your brain. All of you are meant for more. All of you are meant for greatness. You have the ability here at TLG to make something happen. It's within your control. Athena's like removed all the excuses from all of us of why we can't or shouldn't or won't do this business. Like all of us can do what she's doing and get the results. And even if you're starting from a different place as far as skill level with people or communication level or sales skills, like all these things can be learned and developed. And so it doesn't matter where you start. The point is that you're improving. It's an improvement game. You're wherever you're at, you're going to that next benchmark, that next stair step. And if you want to be like Athena and just fly to the top of those first stairs, you can. So Athena, thank you so much, guys. Give some love and some shout out in the Harris Agency thread for Athena and gratitude for what she's shared with all of us. I think this was a great call. I think it's helped a lot of people. And let's go into March. We got the rest of the day, power through, and then in the month of March, morning dials, same day sets, leads weekly, dials daily. Keep it simple, keep it moving, and let's create some more success stories. And Becky, did you have any comments before we wrap up? Okay, cool. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks again, Athena. We really appreciate you. Excited for your journey with TLG and off to a great start, that's for sure. And all right, guys, let's make it a great day. Peace.